Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Justin Riley, and I hope you stick around because we have a great show for you today. We're going to be learning about the new Stoughton Area Veterans Memorial Park. That's coming up. Plus, we'll learn a little bit more about the field of optometry. That'll be an exciting topic. And what is vaping? Lots of good things coming up on Talk of the Town. But first, I'm joined by our very dear friend, Dr. Marcia Schaefer from Spring Creek Family Chiropractic in Lodi. Dr. Marcia, welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
So good to have you here again. So you're going to be talking to us about the 5 keys of boosting fertility and having a healthy pregnancy. Yes. So talk to us a little bit, first and foremost, what do you feel is the most important thing a couple should do as they're thinking about becoming parents?
Well, they should definitely get a nervous system check. You know, your nervous system controls, coordinates, regulates every system in your body, including your hormone system. As a chiropractor, we're trained to locate, detect, and correct what we call subluxation, which is interference in that normal nerve function. So if your nerves are working properly and your nerve system is working properly, your hormones have the best chance to work properly, which is going to take you through fertility, it's going to take you through pregnancy, and we've had a tremendous amount of success just making sure baseline, your nervous system is working.
That's fantastic. And so that really is kind of where the whole idea of holistic medicine comes from. It's literally like this is sort of the base for everything that's in your body, your whole body. Right. So very cool. Do you have any suggestions, dietary suggestions for parents to be?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's as important as what you make sure you have in your diet as much as what you don't.
Right.
So the things I have my couples stay away from are things like processed dairy, wheat, because those are very inflammatory. They're going to mess with your hormones. They're not going to help you function your best, but making sure to get things like avocado and coconut oil and fresh fruits and veggies, your local stuff, support your CSAs and Willie Street and all those kind of local places that are going to make sure your produce is fresh.
Absolutely. And you're listing all these foods. Can you talk to us a little bit about the nutrients that are in these foods and what types of nutrients women who are thinking about getting pregnant should be consuming before, during, and after pregnancy?
Yeah, well, the nutrients that are in the food, I mean, it's just great. You've got a lot of different sterols and antioxidants and just great things. But some other essential nutrients that are required we don't always make by ourselves. In Wisconsin, here where it's cold, vitamin D is a requirement for mom and dad. There's a lot of research out there on the improvement that it makes for fertility. Also omega-3s, good fatty acids. Another essential nutrient, not so much food, but getting enough water. A lot of people don't realize we should be drinking half of our body weight in ounces every single day. It takes 32 ounces just for normal GI function. So to just gastrointestinal, it's 32 ounces. So to think you have all of these other systems that have to work, very important to get adequate water. And the last would be adequate sleep. A lot of people take melatonin, and that actually interferes with ovulation. So you don't want to be taking melatonin, mom or dad, if you're looking to have a healthy pregnancy.
Wow. So, and melatonin, though, that's kind of like the natural sleep hormone, is it not?
It's still a hormone, though.
Right.
So anytime you put one hormone in, you're adapting and changing all of the rest of the hormones in the body.
Wow. Wow. So going back to the whole water thing, you're saying that if a person weighs 200 pounds, they should be drinking 100 ounces of water every day.
Correct.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot of water to drink. I better get going here on this. So talk to us a little bit about stress relief and why that's really important for people who are wanting to become pregnant.
Yeah, well, our bodies don't understand real versus perceived stress. So if a lion is chasing you or if you're stressed out because you can't get pregnant, your body is going to send out the same stress hormones. Cortisol, which is one of your main stress hormones, feeds off of progesterone. And progesterone is what you need for a healthy pregnancy. So if you've got really high cortisol levels and your adrenaline and your insulin, all of those are very pro-inflammatory. So they're going to cause a lot of inflammation, which is going to not let you ovulate properly and not let you have a normal cycle during the month. So very important. And they say it's cliche, but it's so true. It's so important to reduce stress.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting how you talk about real versus perceived stress. That's just a kind of an interesting topic. We could probably have a whole other interview about that topic. So what do you suggest any sort of testing for women who are wanting to become pregnant? If so, like what do you suggest?
Well, I have a baseline. Every 120 days, your eggs turn over. So women have the ability to change their fertility every 120 days. And there's 3 different phases in your cycle. Ovulation is the second phase. It's the main event that's going to happen every single month. And women could get a period, but they're not ovulating. So if you're just judging every month saying, well, I had a normal cycle, define normal. Right. Just because you have that, that's the biggest problem with birth control. It suppresses all your hormones.
Right.
You get this fake cycle at the end of the month, and then people think, you know, I had a normal cycle. So testing ovulation, making sure you are ovulating is huge because it can tell so much about your cycle.
Dr. Marcia Schaefer from Spring Creek Family Chiropractic, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.
Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be learning a little bit more about the Stoughton Area Veterans Memorial Park. It's Talk of the Town. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. My next guest is Randy Robertson from the Stoughton Area Veterans Memorial Park. Welcome, Randy.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here. So this is, as I understand, this is a park that is not even in existence other than just on paper. Talk to us a little bit about the scope of this and the purpose of this project.
Well, our project is $1 million project. It's intended to be a permanent tribute to veterans and also an educational destination for future generations to learn more about the role that veterans have played in securing our freedom. We do have one special section on the centerpiece that will be dedicated to those veterans that were killed in action, and then we do have one Medal of Honor winner, and he will be on that as well.
That's very cool. I've seen a lot of those in the past 4 or 5 years now, kind of popping up around southern Wisconsin. I think that's very cool that you guys are finally going to get one. That's going to be a reality. So very important to support our veterans. So you mentioned that it was going to be there's an educational component to this memorial park. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
That was a big part of our focus when we started planning this. The central section, there are 12 what we call educational pillars. They're granite pillars. They have 2 faces that will be towards the center. Each face of that will have a plaque with information, usually era-wise, for instance, Civil War. One of the things that we know will be on there will be the Gettysburg Address. And then each face will have an etching that is related to the information on the plaque. And those will be all era-related, World War II, World War I, Civil War, those types of things. And also probably peacetime and what the Guard and the Reserves have contributed as well.
Very cool. And it sounds like there's a great opportunity then for teachers to take students out there and just kind of use that opportunity.
That is our hope, and as a matter of fact, part of trying to tie that all together is we've reached out to the Stoughton High School History Club, and they are actually helping us with the wording on some of the plaques.
Awesome. So talk to us about how big is this going to be, and where is it going to be located?
It's a 3-acre site. We're located at Dane County Highway B and Country Club Road, just on the north side of Stoughton. It's a beautiful setting out in the country. It's just going to, my opinion is that at the end of the project, this is going to be a magnificent facility for people to come to.
Yeah, my goodness, it sounds like it's going to be huge, and 3 acres.
3 acres.
Holy cow! So this isn't just a small memorial located in a park. This is like a whole park, right?
It is the whole park itself, correct?
This is going to be a destination. People are going to come to.
I think it is going to be a destination.
Yeah, very cool. So, obviously you're looking for different types of support and that sort of thing. Can you talk to us about some of the support that you're looking for right now?
We're looking primarily we're looking for family members to give us information about Stoughton area veterans, and when I say Stoughton area, we're using the school district boundaries as a rough outline for where we're drawing names from. But World War II going back, the information is pretty well available. Mm-hmm. But with the new privacy laws, Korea, Vietnam vets, Iraqi vets, Afghanistan, we can't get that information, and so we rely a lot on family members or the veterans themselves to give us that information. The other thing, obviously, is we're looking for financial support to get this project done, and that can come in any form, any amount, businesses, foundations, individuals.
Yeah. So you're looking for not only financial support, but you're looking for names and information from the different people who have served.
To make sure that we get as many people as we can included in this.
Yeah, so in other words, if you're watching this and you know that you served in Korea or Vietnam, come
Or
forward.
an uncle or grandfather or somebody
Yeah,
that might not have access to this, but you know that they were in World War II or they were in Korea, then it would,
Right.
if we can get that information, it'd be very helpful.
Right, absolutely. Well, how can viewers find some more information?
Information is available at two websites, the stoughtonvfw.org or post59.org, which is the Stoughton American Legion. There are complete section on both of those websites. The other thing is that they can contact me directly at randy.tshirtguy@gmail.com.
randy.tshirtguy@gmail.com. Randy Robertson, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Randy joined us from the Stoughton Area Veterans Memorial Park, which is going to be hopefully completed within the next couple years, I'm thinking.
Our plan is that we would dedicate it Veterans Day of 2016.
Okay, good timeline, good timeline. So get out there and help them out. We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm joined now by Dr. Eric Paulsen from the Wisconsin Optometric Association. Dr. Paulsen, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to have you here. So we're going to be learning a lot about the field of optometry today, so I'm excited for this education. Talk to us a little bit about what is a doctor of optometry, and there's several different fields that you can go into, including optometrist, ophthalmologist, and optician. What are the differences between all three?
Sure. Well, an optometrist is your basic eye doctor, and I often use the analogy of your physician and a surgeon to explain the difference between an optometrist and an ophthalmologist. Let me back up. An optician is a person who goes to school to learn how to make lenses for glasses, and they work in optical shops and do that kind of thing. Optometry requires 4 years of undergrad in usually a science major, and then optometry school is 4 more years, so it's 8 years of college. And an ophthalmologist is a person who goes through medical school and then goes on for a couple additional years to learn the surgery of the eye. So your optometrist is the general practitioner of eye care, and an ophthalmologist is the surgeon or the specialty care.
Okay, got it. And so not all three are doctoral.
They are not.
Okay.
An optician is an optician.
Sure, sure. Got it. Okay, well, very cool. So, and you talked a little bit about the education that is required. Talk to us a little bit more. Like, can you elaborate on what sort of education that you would need for all three of those?
Sure. So an optician probably would go to a technical college to learn the skills required, and they have some testing that they need to pass to be able to do what they do. An optometrist goes through the 4 years of college as well. And to be able to practice, we have to take a national board, and we also have to take a state board. And so every state is a little different. It requires a great knowledge of science topics, human physiology, pharmacology, a lot of science.
Yeah. A heavy science course, or a heavy science degree, I should say.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what impact do optometrists have on the overall health of the patients that they work with?
Well, being an optometrist is a great profession because a lot of people are not afraid to go to their eye doctor, but may be a little nervous to go see a general physician. And so because we're trained in human anatomy and physiology and pharmacology, we're very much aware of health conditions that can show up in the eye. So for instance, if you're diabetic or you have high blood pressure, those are things that we can see in the back of a person's eye. And so we have a great impact in general health, and oftentimes we're sort of the gatekeeper that sends a patient on to another physician for other health issues.
Yeah, I've learned actually a little bit about optometry over the past couple of weeks. I've been working with some optometrists, and they one of the things that they've said is that they've actually caught some of these other health issues just from a routine eye exam. And I thought that was a really incredible thing.
Absolutely, and you know, I have a patient that was in my chair yesterday who we discovered had a genetic eye disease by talking, you know, doing an eye exam, talking to her about her history and her family, and sure enough, she has the same thing her father does.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
And the other thing that's really amazing is I've had patients, one of the things that we do in our office is we check blood pressure.
Sure.
A lot of patients don't ever get their blood
Right.
pressure taken. And I've sent many patients up to the emergency room because their blood pressure was 200 over 100, which
Oh my goodness.
I'm afraid they're going to spontaneously combust in my office.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And nothing to really laugh about there, because I mean
No.
that's a pretty serious thing. So a lot of doctors have different, primary care physicians and so forth have different areas of expertise, or they specialize in certain areas. Are there different ways that you can specialize when you become an optometrist?
Absolutely. And one of the things that is available to optometry doctors after they graduate is internship. Sometimes in something like the Veterans Association, they have externships, I should say. And so many optometrists will specialize in things like pediatrics, where they do vision therapy and work with children that have learning problems. Many doctors specialize in contact lenses. So there are very many areas that can be specialized.
Dr. Eric Paulsen from the Wisconsin Optometric Association, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Todd from Just Imagine Toys. It's Talk of the Town on CW57. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm so excited to talk to my next guest. I'm joined now by Todd Wikus, who is the owner of Just Imagine Toys in Baraboo. Todd, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too, or afternoon, depending on what time you're watching
go.
at home. So good to have you here today.
All right.
So talk to us a little bit about Just Imagine Toys, because I imagine a number of our viewers haven't been there yet. How would you describe your toy store? Draw us a picture, a verbal picture of it, if you would, when we walk in through the doors.
Sure. When you walk into the door, you're going to see a lot of color, a lot of toys. It's going to be a little bit overstimulating to a certain extent, but it will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, people have compared it to Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, the 2007 movie with Dustin Hoffman, although I don't plan on dying soon.
Okay, well that's good news.
That's good.
Good news. We don't want you to die soon, because this sounds like it would be a really cool place, and we want you to keep the doors open so that we can come in and check it out. So talk to us about some of the types of toys you sell here at Just Imagine. I see that you brought some with you.
We did. We carry toys for all ages, from infant to 99. We stop there, though.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we have infant toys, we have outdoor toys, we have construction toys, we have role-playing toys, books, puzzles, you name it. If it can be played with, we have it. 2,000 square feet of just toys only.
Wow.
And a lot of games, a lot of in every category.
Sure.
Really.
Yeah. So you mentioned some of the different games and things, and we see some of them here. Super Genius, First Words, Spot It, things like that. What are the benefits of playing some of these traditional and new games, and playing with the construction toys and hands-on toys and things like that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I see a trend, of course, with a lot of electronics, whether it be iPads and so on and so forth. But when you play with traditional games or construction toys, you're actually gaining a lot of strength and fine motor skills if you're younger. Okay. And as you get older, you'll be working with your problem-solving skills.
Yeah.
And then also you will be working with spatial skills as well. I mean, there's quite a bit of learning in playing with toys or in games, and then also social skills.
Right.
Social skills.
Right, absolutely. And really, when kids are playing, that's really the way they learn. They learn through play.
Sometimes we call it sneaky learning.
Yeah.
Just playing with a toy, any toy really. It doesn't have to be particularly a learning toy.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, obviously, I have not been there yet, but I think after today, I'm going to be making a trip out to Baraboo to check this out, because I've got 2 young kids who I think would just love to come into your store. Tell us a little bit about what makes Just Imagine Toys so special.
Well, we tried to make coming to our store an experience, not just a shopping experience, like going to the grocery store for milk.
Right.
When you come in our store, you're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
We're going to play with you. You might see a train running above your head, or maybe a unicorn mask head on the ceiling. You just never know. Also, we do demo a lot of our toys, as I said. We're going to play with you. And we do offer free gift wrapping still after 20 years. It's super deluxe gift wrapping, as you can see right there.
Yeah, that's very nice.
So we really try to offer that extra bit of service.
So I'm just curious, do you guys have to, it sounds like you said there's trains going above your head and all these things going on. Do you change those things out quite a bit, or do they pretty much remain the same over the course of a year? Or?
there are some traditions we
Sure,
have.
yeah.
And there's only one way the train starts, and the only way to find out is to come to the store.
Oh, wow, okay.
Now, there's a special way.
Now you got me thinking here. So we talked a little bit about the hot toy, in quotes, the hot toy before the interview started. Talk to us a little bit about that, and what are your thoughts about selling or buying the hot toy?
The hot toy.
And what is the hot toy, in your opinion?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Because especially during gift-giving season, which is Christmas mostly for us, I mean the big season.
Sure.
But people give gifts throughout the year. A lot of times they do come in asking, what is the hot toy? And my analogy to coming in to asking to buy a gift that's a hot toy for somebody that's important to you is like going out on an important date. You're going to a restaurant with a very special person.
Sure.
And you go into the restaurant and you ask the waiter, what's the hot food here
Yeah.
today? What is the big thing? And everybody's eating liver and onions.
Yeah.
Are you going to buy that for your date? No. You should really
Unless you like liver and onions.
Yeah, but if everybody's buying liver and onions, that doesn't mean you should buy liver and
Right,
onions.
yeah.
So you need to buy toys that are specific to the age and interest of the gift recipient, and we help people do that. Because the hot toy doesn't always mean it's going to be right for the people getting it.
Hot does not mean quality, in other words.
Hot does not mean age appropriate. Right. Hot does not mean it could have any value, play value.
Right.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
But we do have many popular toys for different ages.
Well, Todd Wikus, owner of Just Imagine Toys in Baraboo, thank you so much for joining us.
All
I'll give you a
right,
high
thank
five.
you.
Ooh,
Woo.
Little high five. Great.